Hey everybody, welcome back. So lately we've been focusing on affordable power stations that you can use with your solar panels. Today I have a really quality one from Rockpals. This is the Rockpals Rockpower 200 watt portable power station. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I am a big fan of Rockpals gear. I've used it. It works very, very well. I have 3 different power stations from them now. Very, very pleased with it. It seems to be a little cut above some of the no-name brands out there, but yet it seems to be less expensive. So that's a really cool deal. And we're going to get into the deal on this. The deal on this is really, really good. It has free shipping, and there's a coupon code as well if you use it. So I want you guys to check it out. But first of all, I want to let you know about this little 200 watt or 224.64 watt hour power station. This is their PS200. It's equipped with multiple commonly used power outputs, so it's got very, very clean power as well with its sine wave inverter on the end there. And it's not made not only for emergency backup power, but also could be your best partner with your outdoor activities. I mean, you can bring this thing along, plug in radios, recharge cell phones, whatever, and not really have to worry about topping it back off for quite a while because it's got a lot of power in it. One of the nice parts is you've got your quick charger, you've got your USB-C, and you've got 2 regular USB ports. You do have a cigarette lighter plug or adapter. You have 2 12-volt outlets. And you know, it's funny, I really don't have many things that connect to these 2 outlets, these 2 5.5 millimeter plugs. But I believe there's a bunch of 12-volt gear. I'm going to have to get some because I do so many demos of these type units that I never am able to demo those out. We do have a DC input here. That is also for your power. It does come with a cigarette lighter adapter plug. And again, if you're charging this in your vehicle, make sure your vehicle is running. You don't want to kill your battery by charging this. It also comes with a wall charger right here. And charges up within 6 hours with the wall charger, I believe. Fairly quick. Really not bad. It's got its capacity. We'll talk about that again. Told you it's 224 watt hours or 62,400 milliamp hours. Now compare that to your little 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank. A whole lot more. The dimensions on it, 9.8 inches by 4.7 by 7.9. So it's not a huge unit. It weighs 6.3 pounds and it does have some heft to it. It's a decent beefy little system. You got nice rubberized coating and protections on all ends here. If you look at the bottom, you'll see you have your little rubber grommet feet. I believe that's got some plastic on it. I have to take off some protective plastic over the rubber. But anyway, that's what that looks like down there. Yep, it does. You got your information at the bottom. Give you a look at the sides. There's where your plug is there for your AC outlet. You're going to open that up right there. And it is a 200 watt pure sine wave with a 300 watt peak. So if your device kicks on at 300 watts and then calms down to like 180, this will handle it fine. This is your back. And as you can tell on this side, you do have a vent. You also have 2 vents here. So the item will definitely stay well ventilated. It's a nice looking unit. It's not boxy like the other ones. Somebody had mentioned they didn't like the fact that they weren't boxy and square. And I kind of like this style. First of all, the handle is extremely comfortable to carry it with. The other ones were kind of thinner and a little bit more, put a little more tension on your hand when you were carrying. I kind of like this. Now, the built-in AC wall outlet over there uses pure sine wave inverters so that you will power your sensitive devices. You don't have to worry about things getting messed up or broken or devices getting burned up. It's really good for stuff like laptops, cell phones, whatever you're going to be charging if you're using an AC plug to charge stuff, or if you're just running devices off it. Especially for us ham radio operators, if we plug a power supply into this, we want to make sure it's pure sine wave, so there's not getting any kind of interference or any kind of junk power going into our system. It does have a battery management system, or BMS for short, that enables short circuit protection, voltage control, temperature control, which is what turns on the automatic fans, and more advanced safeguards. It also comes with a 24-month warranty, so for 2 years, anything happens to this, you send it back, they'll take care of you. They're really, really good about that. So, let's get into the ports. We've got the cigarette lighter port, okay? That's 12 volts, 10 amps, 120 watts max. You've got the USB-C, where is it, down here? USB-C PD output. That's 20 volts or 1.5 amps at 30 watts max. 1 car port, we already did that. The DC port over here, the DC in here. So the highest you can go with that is 24 volts. They say never exceed 24 volt input. We're going to be doing it with a 12 volt panel. I have a Rockpals 100-watt panel we're going to set up. And I'm going to do it like I always do. I'm just going to put it outside my garage door, put this in here, and we'll charge it up a little bit. It's fairly topped off, pretty full. To turn it on, you're just going to hit this button and hold it. There you go. It's about 65%. You have a display here to choose what you want. You can get rid of that percentage there or not. To turn on the DC power, all this stuff here, you're going to hit that, and that will turn on that and tell you what your output is. If you don't want that, you want to turn on your USB, you hit that button there. There we go. And there's your output. I'm sorry, I hit it and then removed it. There's your output, 0. But that is your USB. And here's the nice part. On the side over here, underneath this protected cover, is your AC button there. So to turn that on, you'll just hit that once, and that will turn that on, and you'll be good to go. Actually, there we go. So you'll be good to go with that. So let's get the solar panel out there, charge it up, see how it does. All right, so what you see in front of you there is the Rockpals 100-watt panel. I have that sitting out there. It's just laying on the ground, nothing fancy. I don't like to overdo these because in emergency situations, you may just have to throw your panel on the ground. There may not be a perfect place to prop it up or whatever. You may just, that's maybe the best you got. So I have it laying there on the ground. I will have a link to that panel if you're interested in picking it up. It is a very, very good panel. Perhaps one of my favorite folding portable panels. Over here, you bring you around. There's our charger right there, charging up. So I'm going to bring you in close and show you what's going on with it and what we got. All right, it's just lying on the ground. We're getting about 29 watts in. It's not in a perfect position, nor is it in direct sunlight. We're up at 65% here. And I'm going to show you how you do it. You're really just going to unplug it. It'll turn off. That will automatically come on when you plug it in to charge it. There you go. And it's charging up. Now I'm going to move that panel around and see if we can get it more in the sun. We may not be able to because the cord's kind of short here for what I'm doing. But let me move it around and see if we can get it even higher. So I have it up on a chair. It's still not really in direct sunlight. But I will tell you something. I just did an inadvertent drop test on this. As I was moving it, I forgot it was connected to the panel. And this thing fell from the top of here to the ground. There. It's still working. There's not a scratch on it. It's perfectly fine. I've tested all the outputs. They're all working. That says a lot for Rockpals, I gotta say. I did it halfway and I pulled the thing off and I'm like, oh well, that's the end of that review. The only thing that happened was the little AC port broke off. And again, that's an easy fix. I can just snap that back on there. It snapped off. It didn't break off. So I gotta say, I'm impressed with that. That was my own stupidity for trying to pull the cord when I forgot it was connected. But hey, you know what? That tells me a lot about their gear. I'm pretty sure other devices I would have done that with and it would have smashed and broke. But as you can see, I'm going to unplug this now because we're pretty much done testing the solar. Not a scratch on it. You can kind of see here where it fell. There's a little white mark. But yeah, that says a lot. I don't like to drop test these things because I think it's kind of extreme testing. But hey, you know what? That's when I needed it, it was there for me. So that's really cool. Anyway, let's get it on the counter after I charge it up a little more with the panel here. And we're going to try out some devices in it and see how heavy a load it can tolerate. So we're back inside, and I wanted to test it out with the wall wart, as I refer to it, the 12-volt plug. I mean the AC plug seems to be charging up well. I believe this has a maximum input of 30 watts. That's why the panel wasn't going over that too, because I just read it while I was looking through there. So it's got a maximum input of 30 watts, no matter what panel you're using. But I wanted to use the Rockpals panel because I love that panel. It's just so easy to set up and use, even if I'm stupid enough to pull this thing off the counter and smash it. But it's still running. But I wanted to let you know a couple of things. First of all, for my Patriot Supply, I know you guys have been checking it out. I've gotten a decent amount of orders this month. I just wanted to let you know that we are having a $50 off sale on the 4-week supply of delicious meals. That's 2,000 plus calories a day. $50 off on that kit. I did want to let you know about that because especially after the winter wake-up call we recently had in Texas, where nobody could cook and nobody could eat and there was all sorts of chaos, it's a really good time to check that out. You want to go to preparewithiridium.com. That's preparewithiridium.com. The link will be down below. You can check it out. Now, as for the price on these guys, they run $189.90. Okay. On the website, if you go there, the website that I have linked down below, you will get my coupon code, which is SAVE20. All you got to do is click it, and when you put it in there, you will save $20. So that's like, what, $169, $170 for a 200-watt power supply that obviously can withstand some abuse, thanks to me. I got to say, good stuff. I'm really liking it. And by the way, that's gone up 2 percentage points as I've had it plugged in there. You will notice the fan is running. I don't know if you can hear it. It seems to be running on this side. There we go. Yeah, see? You can see where it, little tiny scratch. No big deal. It's going to be for my personal use anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Definitely a real trooper. So let's plug some stuff in. We're at 67%. That's good enough for what our testing is going to be today. Let's plug some stuff in and see how we do with it. And hopefully that fan isn't blowing straight into the microphone here. I'm going to turn it a little more. You see we got a fan going here. Okay. I have my tablet charging up here. The fan is plugged into the cigarette lighter plug, so that's the 12-volt DC plug. We have the refrigerator, my mini fridge over here going. Now, this is kind of it's not a fridge, it's more of a convective cooler, inductive cooler, whatever it is. I believe it's inductive. And this is running. I'm getting about 57 watts there. So all in all, it's definitely pulling in a ton of stuff. And here's what I like to tell people. When you see, let me turn that off so it doesn't make too much noise. When you see something that says 200 watts, after seeing these big, huge power stations with 1,000 watts, 1,200 watts, you think, ugh, what good is that? What can I power? Well, obviously, a whole lot more than you think. During an emergency, if you had to keep medications cool, let's say you're diabetic and you need your insulin, you can keep them cool in that. If you got to recharge your phone, your tablet, whatever, you can keep that going. And if it's hot, you can keep cool with a fan. So it's definitely a cool deal. You can get a whole lot out of just a very small power unit. And for camping, keep your beverages cold, maybe keep you connected with a cell phone, keep a fan in your tent. That's a really good deal. So definitely a neat little system. You're looking at, $170 total with my discount code. The thing weighs 6.3 pounds. Definitely handy. So let me get all this stuff out of the way and wrap up, and we'll finish up the video. Alright, so that is my review of the Rockpals Rockpower 200-watt portable power station. Obviously can stand up to abuse since I dropped it. Still worked, still powered everything perfectly. No damage whatsoever except for a little bit of a scrape on the side. Definitely a cool little system. And for the price on it, I mean, I've not seen a 200-watt unit. I just reviewed a 200-watt unit that was close to $300. So for the price on that, you're getting an amazing deal. Something you can take with you car camping. You can keep at a bug-out location. You can keep in your home. That's something we tend to forget about. Prepping is all about keeping yourself at home safe and sound. And with this, you can get some power and you get some things running and a little return to normalcy. See, for me, prepping is all about keeping things as normal as possible. Even though things may be bad outside, you try to keep your life as normal as possible and as safe as possible. So with something like that, definitely a cool thing. I had somebody ask me the other day about what do you do if, she was diabetic and dependent on insulin and how's she going to keep it cold. And, there you go. CPAP machines, those you CPAP machines. There you go, right there. That can power it. So anything under 200 watts, and as you see, 200 watts is a lot of power. People tend to, write that off now because, no, you can't run a coffee machine with this. You can't run a power drill or a hair dryer or your refrigerator outside, but you can run a lot with it. So it's definitely a cool little system. So anyway, let's wrap it up. We've got the solar generator here. We can use it with any 18-volt panel. Not to exceed 24 volts on it. Works really well. They say it recharges from a car charger in about 7 or 8 hours. A wall outlet about 7 and 8 hours on a wall outlet. The USB-C PD port about 9 to 10 hours, and it can be charged by 4 to 5 hours by a wall out using that USB-C PD outlet. The built-in AC outlet gives you that nice pure sine wave inverter, pure power, no aggravation. I will have a link down below where you can pick this up, plus the panel I showed in the video if you are interested. It's obviously stood some abuse already. I'm going to be building this out here basically just for backup power. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below, our Amazon affiliate page. We have 2 sections now, so check out those 2 sections. See what's in there, the prepper products or newer products that I reviewed. and all of my old standard standbys are in the other one. You can check them out, see what's there. I plan on adding a few more sections eventually, so we'll get into that. Don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link as well. I already talked to you about the Food for Patriots link. There's definitely going to be an awesome sale on that, so check them out. And I thank you folks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.